thank you for joining me. I am Tamara Jean, your soul architect and wellness astrologer here on High Vibe TV. It is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. We're in the energy of the full moon in Capricorn and moving with this energy into the weekend, where Saturn is going to station retrograde in Aries. The Sun and Earth will be changing gates in the current human design transit. So much happening in the energetic field. And so I have for you Self-Healing Collective, and it felt appropriate. This, I think, is their actual newest one. Just uploaded a few hours ago, and it is encoded with 741 hertz. And you may hear like I'm a little sinusy. And that there are activations happening, there are clearings happening. So I'm experiencing like a detox kind of experience, and that 741 hertz is detoxifying and cleansing, both energetically and physically, because with this energetic landscape, we are, with the full moon Capricorn opposing the Sun in Cancer, there's between like responsibility, right, and for others, and there is still that old energetic theme of proving your worth, and workaholic, and all of those old, the old programming and conditioning and patterning to, right, nourishment, and definitely the masculine and feminine, right, but we're trying to come to our center, right, and balancing and being in the divine aspects of those rather than the wounded aspects. So we're really being asked, what am I ready to release around proving? And there is a culmination cycle with this full moon in Capricorn from the new moon at the beginning of the year, right, end of December, beginning of January, with the new moon Capricorn to this full moon. And that there has been a lot of work, especially with the Saturn having finished in Pisces and moving into Aries, right? And now he's going to station retrograde in Aries and move back into Pisces before stationing direct towards near the end of November, right? And then I think move back into Aries next year. And there's so much around letting go of like that external achievement and the pressure, and what really matters, right, in the heart, in the soul. So there's really, I'm seeing the tension between what we have to do or what we feel like we have to do, rather than, and kind of to that conditioning of making things happen, or that hustle, but hustle in a distorted way, in the wounded way, a forceful way, not in the way that you are hustling because all of these opportunities and aligned actions and everything coming to you, and you're hustling because you're just moving, right? Moving your energy, and taking those actions that are coming from the guidance of your soul. So there is that internal, but it can feel like internal pressure, even though we're releasing from pressuring external pressure of others onto us. I'm feeling a lot too around expectations of others, right, that have been projected onto us, and where you may be feeling some of that on your right side. You know, there can be some maybe heaviness or stickiness or pain, right side, perhaps shoulders, like a lot of like the burdens that you may have been carrying. Right side in shoulders is from outside of you, from others, carrying others' burdens, taking on those others' responsibilities, those types of things. And so that may be experiencing that, and where it is trying to get you to take that pause from that habitual behavioral pattern of the force, or, you know, I have to get it done. And this is, you know, obviously if there's some sort of time constraint or whatever, and like you actually have to get something done. But you know how I'm speaking of, where we're really being asked to pause and learning the flow of being balanced. It's been out of balance for so long, and so there's a lot wrapped up in this energetic landscape for us to unwrap and unpack as Saturn joins in the retrograde party. Right, and with now going to have Saturn, Neptune, and Pluto all retrograde, it's very much an inside job and a rebuilding of your foundation, your soul architecture at very deep levels, and right, and that coming through in your coding, the DNA coding, and your cells. Like, I feel those are like the main points. And so we'll be, right, there'll be more of an inward once Saturn stations retrograde, when in like our review of our identity, right, and our inner authority. And as we go through this restructuring, and with the human design transit, we have the sun finishing in gate 53 of new beginnings, and the earth in gate 54 of ambition in the root center. And so still, you know, in like this, there's a lot of letting go and the release that needs to happen with this full moon. And you know, we'll continue to empty out obviously as the moon wanes, but we are also at the same time starting like new, and coming from those new frequencies within us, right? These new, as we're making all of these connections and tapping into our soul blueprint and our essence, and starting to build the foundation from soul integrity and authority, and being called to this transformation. There's this drive for this transformation and doing things in a new way. I feel like we can experience, like, if we're not quite getting it or, you know, operating from soul intelligence, that we will be shown like it won't work, and be like there will be the block or the redirect to what is in soul alignment for you. And then over the weekend, the sun will move into gate 62 in the throat, and the earth in gate 61 in that inner knowing and in the crown. And so there is precision and articulation and putting and like paying attention to and putting it into words, right? And speaking with precision and grounded. It's the energy is grounded in that knowing, your intuition and insight. And so we're moving into like from that pushing and initiating to clarifying, trusting in the unseen, speaking. And we have Uranus has changed gates. It is now in gate 20 where Venus was. She's moved. Uranus is now in gate 20 of the now presence, and Venus has moved into gate 16. And trying to remember actually, still in the throat. And Mercury has moved into gate 7. And in the self center, in that like leadership with integrity, right? So all of this, the culmination of this energy in leading us into authentic, soul aligned leadership and choosing our words, right? We're speaking with intention and integrity. And everything that has been built around it that is distorted, right, is in process and will continue with especially Pluto and Saturn, Neptune retrograde, this time period, right? The dissolution of the distortion, so that we can connect into and gain clarity in our soul authority and our autonomy, and how that works, and still contribute in collaboration with, in the collective, with others. And I was getting, when I was drawn to this, other than the 741 hertz and helping to release and cleanse and detoxify, in purpose of getting to, right, your soul, your essence, your soul knowing, and intelligence, authority, is we have this monk, and right through the portal, this beautiful cosmic lion, and this is Kuan Yin, if you look carefully, and there's also like Egyptian hieroglyphics as well. And I was reading from this imagery of like being centered, right, and at peace, this internal peace, and being able to be in stillness. There's power in stillness, like the lion, right, within, in that power within, and compassion, and that there's ancient knowledge that is coming through, especially when the earth moves into that gate of inner knowing, right? This is like, you know, the mystery coming in, and the insights, and then Uranus, I feel, being in gate 20 in the gate of presence, how it is like there's disruption in things, to almost like I feel where you won't have a choice but to be present. And everything is going to keep leading you, guiding you to being present. And like, so that the past can resolve, right? And the distortion dissolve, and you're left in this stillness and anchoring in your power and peace. This is going to be definitely a theme over the coming months, right, with these retrogrades. Let's see what essential oils can help us or support us over the weekend, and maybe, right, to speak from truth, right, not from the noise, and from soul knowing rather than our mind being certain. We need to speak from the soul. So getting cedar wood, which is about connection, and it really roots you in and you're grounded in your body. And then we have frankincense, which is the oil of truth, and black pepper is the oil of unmasking. So this getting you connected within you, anchoring in your body, because this is about waking up in the body, right? And the body gives us very powerful, subtle messages. And that's where we really have to listen, and where we're holding these old patterns, and you know, it could be somewhere unexpected, and there's power in releasing that in the body. And with Saturn stationing retrograde and bringing us inward, that I'm seeing a lot of the distortion that we've been holding in our structure, and then quite literally of our physical structure, whether that's your cellular structure, the structure of your DNA coding, in your bones, right? All of the systems and structures within your body. So really support all the your detoxification system as Saturn is retrograde with Pluto retrograde. Definitely feeling that. And the fascia, right, that holds everything together, is that the fascia and the cells and how that holds memory and trauma. So there's going to be a lot that you may feel in within you, within those structures within your body. And what was I going to say with that? Frankincense. So you want to be grounded in the body. Frankincense with the truth, and that black pepper helping to unmask and reveal to you, because you want it to be fully release, so it dissolves and you get to begin anew. And clary sage wanted to come out, so that clear vision, right? And that there is higher purpose, as some of this is quite uncomfortable. That's why I'm ending up filming this later than I had anticipated. You know, we're all going through so much and having the physical symptoms, you know, headache perhaps, especially too with, we're going from the root center up to the crown and the throat. So you may experience some symptoms there. pressure, perhaps third eye and crown. I know that's what I have had today. And so a headache going on. But knowing, right, of what is moving through, it's helpful. And just different experiences that we're all having and moving through. Some of them can be a lot. We have, is this Surrender to the Sweetness. This is the Starseed Oracle. I was drawn to bring this one out. And this is Venus energy. It's pleasure. And this is really great. So the woman is sitting here, and then that's a male figure there, right? And we have all this beautiful water. And so it is being, and right, this is what is inviting us in our rebalancing and recalibration into the stillness, right? And that there's this beautiful power in the stillness and the depth I'm also getting. In this, to be able for you to release the old weight and stand in embodied truth and ready to receive and speak and live what is true. Your life is a canvas. So like I said, it is this release and letting go and closing of the old, right? And these karmic loops and the ancestral patterns and so on. And it is building something new also simultaneously, right? You are the artist and your life, the canvas, right? You are, and this is about mastery and embodying your mastery perspective. So there's a lot of, like, it's just the single, that is the earth in the middle of space there. And it is like zooming out and helping, and seeing like what really truly matters. And you really get that when you are in stillness. So moving through Friday and into the weekend to allowing yourself to be and allowing things to release. And if that is, whether it is an expression of crying or writing or whatever you feel called to do in that release. And there's also joy. So I know I was releasing today, and then it was like all of a sudden of this peace that I felt and calmness. And it was, I hadn't experienced it. After all of my experiences, I hadn't quite experienced it that way, and it was quite unexpected. But when we allow and we honor the energy and of each individual, and we're holding that compassion, understanding vibration in space. It's really divine of how things begin to unfold and the energy, how it moves. And that is taking care of within you, right? Your income. And then you get to experience, right, that favorable, desirable outcome, external outcome. Have a beautiful weekend and into Monday, because I will return on Tuesday. Tuesday is my birthday, but I will be back here on Tuesday. And so have a great weekend.